there's a lot that we don't understand about water, and it's a lot that we now need to understand about water. And so when you look at this section, I just want to kind of reinforce here. There's, as you go further into the section, it's going to get a little bit more of a deeper dive. There's really three principles that make up this new science. One is it is absolutely has to do with molecular structure. So the idea has been a long time based in the idea of hydrogen and oxygen, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, which has to do with Newtonian physics. And that's based in the same Newtonian physics that everything else that we have in this society is based in, that our medicine is based in, and allopathy is based in, water treatment's based in, most everything in our world. Our financial system is based in Newtonian physics. So everything is Newtonian, which is basically meaning that it doesn't honor or doesn't include the external, as quantum physics includes the external. So we're now moving in a paradigm shift from the old science, which has basically held our society together. I mean, water treatment. You've never heard much else about water beside hydrogen and oxygen, now filtration. The filtration industry is based in Newtonian physics, which is to kill the bug, or chemical composition. Well, now we want to bring in the idea of quantum, or the waveform. So the first place we're going to look at that is molecular structure. Water's not just hydrogen and oxygen, it's actually a molecular structure. The next thing we're going to talk about now is water has memory. Now, this has been brought forth by Dr. Benveniste, Dr. Poling, different doctors throughout the last, well, probably since 1920, but really hasn't been accepted until more recently. Dr. Emoto helped it become more accepted when he talked about what the blue people are very familiar. They say, look at that Japanese doctor, and I travel all around the world, and they say, oh, the Japanese doctor? I said, that's Dr. Emoto, the hidden messages of water. So he began to say that sound frequency affects the vibration of water. It affects water. So you'll see that that's a component of this. So water has memory. So we have molecular structure, then we have water has memory, then we move into crystallography, which is Dr. Vogel, Dr. Powler, Dr. Newday, talking about water as a liquid crystal computer. It has properties of a crystal. It holds memory, it records memory, it stores memory. And so basically, when you start to think about your body as a liquid crystal computer, your molecules as a liquid crystal computer, you begin to understand there's a lot more at stake here than just looking at chemical composition, hydrogen and oxygen. You also begin to understand that these things like tides, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, so forth and so on, they're impacting the molecular structure of you. They're impacting the molecular structure of water. They're impacting the molecular structure of this crystalline molecular structure, liquid crystalline molecular structure. So when you have harmful, distortive, or destructive, not destructive is the word, destructured technologies or destructured chemicals and so forth, they hold a different molecular structure than natural water. And the reason natural water is important is because your body is floating, your cells and tissues are floating in natural water. Natural water is what these technologies, optimized technologies, recreate for you in your home, your office, and your farm. And they bring that molecular structure, they enhance that crystalline molecular structure. So when you look at this new science, you're going to look at three things: molecular structure, water has memory, and crystallography. Thanks for taking a look.